It's been said that there's not two good days in a leader's life because the reality is a leader has to deal with problems. And if they have a problem free day, you better watch out for that next day. And if you're a leader, you know exactly what this feels like. Now, when you got into leadership, you probably got into it on some level because you enjoy helping solve problems. And you want to bring solutions. You have a dream, you have a vision, you have something you want to accomplish, but you are fast realizing it is an uphill climb and there's battles along the way. Well, what I want to unpack today is a process for solving our problems, for just improving our problem solving skills. Why is this important? Well, I think I've made that pretty clear. As you know in your experience, problems are part of our leadership experience. So the first thing is when problem arises, and there's options. There's lots of options. Maybe you're like me and you have a paralysis by analysis sometimes. I'll zoom into a problem, look at it real close, then I'll zoom out, try to see the bigger picture, then I'll look right, look left, look every which way, and I failed to enter into this very first step, which is simply deciding. We have to make a decision in order to even be able to solve a problem. Now, depending on the size of the problem, we will want to take some time. A bigger problem with more ripple effects, take the time to analyze, but don't get stuck in the analysis. Once you've decided on a course of action, then we got to move to the second step, which is simply acting. Let's take an example. So let's make it a personal example for somebody somewhere. Maybe you're like, my doctor said I need to lose weight. All right, well, how are you going to do that? There's lots of different options. It can be changing your diet. It can be increasing your exercise. Well, how could you exercise? Are you playing sports? Are you going to go to the gym and lift weights? Are you going to walk? Are you going to run? Are you going to swim? You get my point. There's lots of options. You just need to decide and then put it into action. And once we've decided and we've put it into action, then we're moving to our third step, which is we got to evaluate. Okay, let's go back to our exercise situation. We've evaluated or we've acted on this, and maybe we're not very motivated. Maybe we said, I'm going to swim every day. But the labor of changing into your swimsuit and getting up, and it's cold in the winter time if you live in a cold area, and you're starting to evaluate and like, I'm having a hard time sticking to this routine. So what do you got to do next? Well, we got to move to this next step. We got to learn. So we've decided on the action we're going to take. Hey, I'm going to go to the gym. Instead of swimming, or I'm going to try swimming. That's what we're acting on. And then we're evaluating it. This is a little rough. So what have we learned? Well, we learned that we're not as motivated to go swim at the gym every day. But maybe there's another option. So that's where we get into the last step. The last step is simply try again. So we go back to the gym, and this time we pick up the habit of strength training, and we like it. And we're starting to see results. Now, whether it's your personal life, like an example like losing weight, or maybe it's your professional life and there's a problem that you have to deal with, you can still enter through this same simple process. It's a weird spelling, but it spells dealt. I've dealt with the problem. Yes, I know it's spelled wrong, but maybe it'll help you remember it. First decide, then act, then evaluate, then learn from what result you got, and then try again. When we go through this process of deciding, acting, evaluating, learning, and then trying again, we have a way, a process for dealing with our problems. Because here's the thing, the problem will arise and we'll get a result and we'll have to enter the process again. because we may not get the result we wanted, or we may, and we say, hey, how can we repeat this? So when we have the same problem, we deal with it, and we've dealt with it in an effective way. If this was helpful for you, please share it with others. Here's my challenge for you though first. How will you deal with your problems this week? Will you just throw water on it or throw gas on it to make it bigger? Or are you going to slow down, decide, act, learn, evaluate, and try again? That's how you deal with a problem. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want more of these, go to leadwell.biz, sign up for a free leadership ebook. Get these directly to your email inbox. Have a fantastic day. Randy Wheeler here from Wheeler Coaching. Look forward to seeing you again next time. Lead well.